In the year 2247, humanity stood on the brink of annihilation. A cataclysmic event, known as the Scourge, had ravaged the Earth, leaving billions dead and the planet in ruins. The survivors, huddled in underground shelters and makeshift camps, struggled to hold on to the last vestiges of hope as they watched their world crumble around them. Dr. Lena Sorensen, a brilliant astrophysicist, stared at the desolate landscape before her. The once thriving city of New Copenhagen lay in ruins, its towering skyscrapers reduced to jagged husks against the ashen sky. Lena's heart ached for the lives lost and the dreams shattered, but she knew that dwelling on the past would not help them survive the harsh realities of the present. As Lena turned to head back to the underground shelter she now called home, a faint beeping sound emanated from her wrist communicator. Frowning, she tapped the device, and a holographic display sprang to life before her eyes. A series of strange symbols and coordinates flickered across the screen, unlike anything Lena had ever seen before. Intrigued, Lena hurried back to the shelter, her mind racing with possibilities. She burst into the command center, startling the other survivors who had taken refuge there. "I've received a signal," Lena announced breathlessly, her eyes shining with a mix of excitement and trepidation. Commander Dante Reyes, the leader of their small community, stepped forward. His weathered face bore the scars of countless battles fought in the name of survival. "A signal? From where?" he asked, his brow furrowed in concern. Lena shook her head. "I don't know, but it's not from Earth. The coordinates point to a location deep in space." She projected the holographic display for all to see, the alien symbols casting an eerie glow across the room. Murmurs of disbelief and fear rippled through the gathered survivors. Many had lost faith in the possibility of a future beyond the confines of their shattered world. The idea of an extraterrestrial signal seemed like a cruel joke, a false hope in the face of overwhelming despair. However, Lena refused to let the opportunity slip away. "We have to investigate," she insisted, her voice filled with determination. "This could be our chance to find help, to discover a way to rebuild our world." Dante regarded Lena thoughtfully, weighing the risks against the potential rewards. He knew that venturing out into the unknown was a gamble, but what choice did they have? The Earth was dying, and their supplies were running low. If there was even a chance that this signal could lead them to salvation, they had to take it. "All right," Dante said at last, his voice heavy with the weight of his decision. "We'll assemble a team to investigate the signal. But we must be cautious. We don't know what we're dealing with out there." Lena nodded, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and exhilaration. She knew that the path ahead would be fraught with dangers and uncertainties, but for the first time since the Scourge had struck, she dared to hope. As the survivors began to prepare for the mission, Lena couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning of a journey that would change the course of human history. The darkness that had consumed their world was not the end, but rather the prelude to a new chapter in humanity's story. With a deep breath, Lena steeled herself for the challenges to come. She knew that the road ahead would be long and treacherous, but she was ready to face whatever lay beyond the stars. For in the depths of space, amidst the vast and infinite expanse, lay the key to humanity's salvation and, perhaps, its ultimate destiny. As the survivors prepared for the mission to investigate the mysterious signal, tensions began to rise among the remaining nations of Earth. The Scourge had not only decimated the planet's population, but also shattered the fragile alliances that had once held the world together. In the aftermath of the cataclysm, resources became scarce, and the struggle for power intensified. Nations that had once been allies turned against each other, vying for control over the few remaining fertile lands and untapped reserves of energy. Lena watched with growing concern as reports of conflicts and skirmishes flooded the news feeds. She knew that if humanity continued down this path of division and hostility, there would be no hope for their future, even if the signal proved to be a lifeline. As the preparations for the mission continued, Lena found herself drawn to the enigmatic signal. She spent countless hours analyzing the strange symbols and coordinates, searching for any clue that might shed light on its origin and purpose. Despite the chaos and uncertainty that gripped the world, a group of visionaries emerged from the shadows. Led by the charismatic Dr. Marcus Ellington, the group believed that the signal represented a turning point in human history, a chance to unite the fractured nations of Earth and forge a new path forward. Lena was intrigued by Dr. Ellington's ideas and sought him out. As they talked, she realized that he possessed a rare combination of brilliance and compassion. He spoke of a future where humanity could rise above its differences and work together to build a better world. Inspired by Dr. Ellington's vision, Lena joined forces with him and a team of experts from various fields, scientists, engineers, and diplomats, to decipher the signal's meaning. They worked tirelessly, poring over the data and running simulations, hoping to unravel the mystery that had captivated them all. As the team delved deeper into the signal's secrets, they discovered that it contained a wealth of information, advanced scientific concepts, technological schematics, and even hints of a vast galactic civilization that lay beyond the stars. The more they learned, the more convinced they became that the signal was not just a message, but an invitation, a call to humanity to take its place among the stars and join a greater cosmic community. However, not everyone shared their enthusiasm. Some factions, driven by fear and mistrust, saw the signal as a threat, a potential trap set by hostile alien forces. They argued that humanity should focus on rebuilding Earth rather than chasing dreams of distant worlds. Tensions mounted as the debate over the signal's significance divided the already fractured nations of Earth. Some called for isolation, while others advocated for exploration and expansion. Amidst the turmoil, Dr. Ellington and his team pressed on, determined to uncover the truth behind the signal. They knew that the fate of humanity hung in the balance, and that their actions in the coming days would shape the course of history for generations to come. As Lena gazed up at the stars, she couldn't help but feel a sense of destiny tugging at her heart. She knew that the path ahead would be fraught with challenges and sacrifices, but she also knew that it was a path she was meant to walk. For in the depths of space, amidst the vast and infinite expanse, lay the key to humanity's future, a future where the fractured world of Earth could be healed, and where the human spirit could soar to new heights of discovery and wonder. As Dr. Ellington and his team continued to unravel the secrets of the mysterious signal, a stunning revelation emerged. The signal was not just a message, but an invitation from an advanced alien civilization known as the Galactic Concordance. The Concordance, it seemed, had been observing humanity from afar, watching as they struggled to overcome the devastation of the scourge. The aliens had seen potential in the human spirit, a resilience and determination that set them apart from other species in the galaxy. Now, the Concordance was offering humanity a chance to join their ranks, to become part of a galactic community that spanned countless worlds and civilizations. It was an opportunity unlike any other, a chance to rise above the ashes of their shattered world and forge a new destiny among the stars. Lena and the rest of Dr. Ellington's team were stunned by the revelation. They had always suspected that the signal was significant, but they had never imagined that it would lead them to the doorstep of an alien civilization. As the news of the Concordance's invitation spread, a wave of excitement and trepidation swept across the fragmented nations of Earth. Some saw it as a chance for a fresh start, a way to leave behind the pain and suffering of the past. Others, however, viewed the aliens with suspicion and fear, wondering what hidden agendas they might harbor. Dr. Ellington knew that time was of the essence. If humanity was to accept the Concordance's invitation, they would need to act quickly. He proposed a daring plan, the creation of the Emissary Project, a mission that would send a ship and a crew of Earth's brightest minds to meet with the aliens and negotiate humanity's place in the galactic community. Lena was chosen as one of the key members of the Emissary Project, her expertise in astrophysics and her unwavering determination making her an invaluable asset to the team. Together with Dr. Ellington and a hand-picked group of scientists, engineers, and diplomats, she began to work on the design and construction of the emissary ship. However, as the project gained momentum, political tensions on Earth began to escalate. Some factions saw the Emissary Project as a threat to their power and influence, fearing that a successful mission would upset the delicate balance of power that had emerged in the aftermath of the Scourge. Sabotage and threats became commonplace as the emissary project raced against time to complete their mission. Lena and her teammates found themselves constantly looking over their shoulders, never knowing who to trust or where the next attack might come from. Despite the challenges and setbacks, the emissary project pushed forward, fueled by the belief that their mission represented the last, best hope for humanity. They poured their hearts and souls into the construction of the ship, working tirelessly to ensure that it would be ready for the journey that lay ahead. As the final pieces of the ship fell into place, Lena couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and wonder. She knew that they were standing on the threshold of a new era, a future where humanity would take its place among the stars and discover the wonders of the universe that lay beyond. But even as the emissary project prepared to launch, Lena knew that their greatest challenges still lay ahead. For in the depths of space, amidst the vast and infinite expanse, they would face trials and tribulations that would test the limits of their courage and resolve. And yet, as she gazed up at the stars, Lena felt a flicker of hope burning within her heart. For she knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, the human spirit would endure, and that together, they would find a way to build a better future for all of humanity. With the emissary ship complete and the crew prepared, the day of the launch finally arrived. The eyes of the world were upon them as Lena and her teammates boarded the vessel, their hearts pounding with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. As the ship lifted off from the Earth's surface, Lena felt a surge of emotion wash over her. She knew that they were leaving behind everything they had ever known, their families, their friends, and the only home they had ever known. But she also knew that they were embarking on a journey that would change the course of human history forever. As the ship hurtled through the void of space, the crew settled into their new routines. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months as they traveled farther and farther from Earth, guided only by the mysterious signal that had brought them together. The journey was not without its challenges. The crew faced equipment malfunctions, supply shortages, and the ever-present threat of the unknown. But through it all, they remained resolute, determined to see their mission through to the end. Lena found solace in her work, poring over the data they had collected on the galactic concordance and the worlds that lay beyond. She spent long hours in the ship's laboratories, analyzing the strange new materials and technologies they had encountered, searching for any clue that might help them navigate the challenges that lay ahead. As the ship approached the coordinates provided by the concordance, the crew prepared themselves for the moment of truth. They had come so far, sacrificed so much, and now they were about to meet the aliens who had called out to them from across the stars. The moment of first contact was a surreal experience. The concordance representatives were unlike anything Lena had ever seen before, towering beings with translucent skin and luminous eyes that seemed to hold the wisdom of ages. They welcomed the emissaries with open arms, eager to learn about the world they had left behind and the journey that had brought them to this moment. As Lena and her teammates began to explore the wonders of the concordance, they quickly realized that they were standing on the threshold of a new era for humanity. The aliens possessed technologies and knowledge that far surpassed anything they had ever encountered, and they were eager to share their wisdom with their new allies. But even as they marveled at the wonders of the concordance, Lena couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. There were whispers of a great threat that loomed on the horizon, a darkness that threatened to consume the galaxy and all who inhabited it. As the emissaries delved deeper into the secrets of the concordance, they began to uncover a web of intrigue and deception that stretched across the stars. They realized that their mission was not just about forging a new alliance, but about uncovering the truth behind the Concordance's invitation and the role that humanity was meant to play in the fate of the galaxy. With each passing day, the stakes grew higher and the challenges more daunting. But Lena and her teammates refused to give up. They had come too far to turn back now, and they knew that the fate of humanity rested on their shoulders. As they ventured deeper into the unknown, Lena couldn't help but feel a sense of destiny tugging at her heart. She knew that the path ahead would be fraught with danger and uncertainty, but she also knew that it was a path she was meant to walk. For in the depths of space, amidst the vast and infinite expanse, lay the key to humanity's future, a future where the darkness could be beaten back and where the light of hope could shine forth once more. As the emissaries delved deeper into the workings of the galactic concordance, they soon discovered that their journey was far from over. The concordance, it seemed, had a rigorous process in place for accepting new species into their ranks, a series of trials designed to test the mettle and worthiness of any who sought to join their alliance. Lena and her teammates were stunned by the revelation. They had assumed that their invitation was a guarantee of acceptance, but now they realized that they would have to prove themselves worthy of the concordance's trust and respect. The trials were unlike anything they had ever faced before. They were subjected to a series of physical, mental, and emotional challenges that pushed them to the limits of their endurance. They were forced to confront their deepest fears and darkest secrets, to overcome obstacles that seemed insurmountable, and to make sacrifices that tested the very core of their being. Through it all, Lena and her teammates relied on the strength of their bond and the power of their shared purpose. They drew upon the unique skills and talents of each member of the team, working together to overcome each challenge that was thrown their way. Lena found herself taking on a leadership role, guiding her teammates through the trials with a steady hand and an unwavering determination. She drew upon her knowledge of astrophysics and her understanding of the concordance's technology to devise innovative solutions to the problems they faced. But even as they progressed through the trials, tensions began to mount within the team. The stress and strain of the challenges they faced began to take their toll, and old rivalries and disagreements began to surface once more. Lena watched with growing concern as her teammates began to turn on one another, their unity fracturing under the weight of their individual struggles and fears. She knew that if they were to succeed, they would need to find a way to come together once more, to put aside their differences and work as one. As the final trial loomed before them, Lena called her teammates together for a meeting. She spoke from the heart, reminding them of the reasons they had embarked on this journey in the first place, the hope and promise of a better future for all of humanity. She challenged them to rise above their petty squabbles and personal agendas, to remember the bonds of friendship and purpose that had brought them together. And as she spoke, she saw the spark of determination reignite in their eyes, the same spark that had carried them across the stars and into the unknown. Together, they faced the final trial, a test of unity and sacrifice that demanded everything they had to give. They fought side by side, their strengths and weaknesses complementing one another, their hearts and minds joined in a single, unwavering purpose. And when the dust settled, they emerged victorious, battered and bruised, but unbroken and unbowed. They had proven themselves worthy of the concordance's trust and respect, and had earned their place among the stars. But even as they celebrated their triumph, Lena couldn't shake the feeling that their journey was far from over. For she knew that the true test of their unity and resolve was yet to come, a test that would determine the fate of not just humanity, but of the entire galaxy itself. As she gazed out into the infinite expanse of space, Lena felt a sense of purpose and destiny burning within her heart. She knew that the road ahead would be long and difficult, but she also knew that with her teammates by her side, there was nothing they could not achieve. For in the face of the trials and challenges that lay ahead, the emissaries would stand united, a beacon of hope and light in a galaxy consumed by darkness and despair. With their place in the galactic concordance secured, Lena and her teammates thought their trials were behind them. Little did they know that the greatest challenge of their journey was yet to come. As they delved deeper into the workings of the concordance, they began to uncover a disturbing truth. The invitation they had received, the trials they had endured, it was all part of a greater plan, a desperate gambit to save the galaxy from an all-consuming threat. The concordance, it seemed, had been aware of the threat for some time, a malevolent force known only as the Void, which sought to consume all life and light in the universe. The concordance had been searching for a way to stop the Void, but had thus far been unsuccessful. But then they had discovered Earth, a small, seemingly insignificant planet on the edge of the galaxy. And yet, There was something special about humanity, a resilience, a determination, a spark of hope that set them apart from all other species. The Concordants had seen in humanity the key to their salvation, a chance to turn the tide against the void and save the galaxy from destruction. And so they had sent out the invitation, hoping against hope that humanity would answer the call. As Lena and her teammates grappled with the revelation, they knew that they had a choice to make. They could turn their backs on the Concordants, on the galaxy, and return to Earth to live out their days in peace. Or they could stand and fight, risking everything they had to save the universe from the void. For Lena, there was no choice at all. She had seen too much, come too far, to turn back now. And so, with a heavy heart and a determined spirit, she and her teammates made the decision to join the fight against the void. They threw themselves into the preparations, working alongside the Concordants to devise a plan to stop the void before it consumed everything in its path. They pored over ancient texts and advanced simulations, searching for any clue that might lead them to victory. And as they worked, they began to realize the true scope of the threat they faced. The void was not just a physical entity, but a manifestation of the darkness and despair that lurked within the hearts of all living things. To defeat it, they would need to confront not just the void itself, but the very nature of existence. The final battle was a desperate, all-out assault on the heart of the void itself. Lena and her teammates fought side by side with the warriors of the Concordants, their weapons and technology pushed to the very limits of their capabilities. They faced down horrors beyond imagining, creatures of pure darkness and malice that sought to consume their very souls. They watched as friends and allies fell, their lives snuffed out in an instant by the relentless onslaught of the void. But through it all, they held fast to the spark of hope that had brought them this far. They drew upon the strength and resilience of the human spirit, the unbreakable bonds of friendship and love that had carried them across the stars. And in the end, against all odds, they emerged victorious. The void was vanquished, its darkness banished back to the depths from whence it came. The galaxy was saved, and the Concordance was forever changed by the courage and sacrifice of the emissaries from Earth. As Lena and her teammates returned home, they knew that their journey had been a turning point not just for themselves, but for all of humanity. They had proven that even in the face of unimaginable adversity, the human spirit could rise to meet the challenge and emerge stronger, wiser, and more compassionate than ever before. And as they looked out upon the stars, they knew that this was just the beginning of humanity's journey among them, a journey that would lead them to new frontiers, new alliances, and new wonders beyond their wildest dreams.